In it tonight like there's no tomorrow. I will let loose, I'll be free. Got my whole life, it's been on my mind. I know exactly what I need to start this fire. It's the time and place so many know. It's a place many will go. Just try it once and you can disappear. If you're ready, I'm able. I ain't getting deep. Sparks my insanity, pulling me into another. It's all of hate, there's no other. It's the current running through my veins, in my life that's so real. It's a fire burning deep inside. Will it spread and burn me alive? I ain't getting deep. Sparks my insanity, pulling me into another. It's all of hate, there's no other. There's no other. There's no other. There's no There's a sharp knife penetrating my soul. It's like a dark night waiting for my life to unfold. There's a sharp knife penetrating my soul. It's like a dark night waiting for my life to unfold. I ain't getting deep. Sparks my insanity, pulling me into another. It's all of hate, there's no other. I ain't getting deep. Sparks my insanity, pulling me into another. It's all of hate, there's no other. Look at me, but don't just assume. Another story hangs over you. We seek ourselves, finding the truth. Once focused on dark, I'll fade into blue. Creating and evolving comes first. Mind eclipse beginning at birth. Every day we pave the way. Got nothing to lose, got nothing to prove. victory.
Good evening and welcome to the Oakwood Stadium for this evening's Continental Cup tie between Charlton Athletic and Coventry City. You join me, Charlotte Richardson, for our live stream, and I'm absolutely delighted to say, whilst I would love to see her on the pitch, I am joined by the Charlton skipper, Lauren Brunton. Thank you so much for joining me. First things first, give us your preview of this evening's Continental Cup tie. A bit of a distraction from the league, an opportunity perhaps to get a win to stop a bit of a rut that's been going on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Charlotte. Yeah, no, it has been a little bit of a rut, but no, it's a good opportunity for the girls from Sunday, a quick turnaround into a Wednesday game, which is great. A few new fresh faces in the starting lineup. Hopefully we can pull it back and get a win tonight, and hopefully change the tide a little bit.
Absolutely, and you mentioned it there. There are plenty of changes from that defeat on Sunday afternoon against Crystal Palace, 5 in fact, and that in turn shows the sort of strength and depth and perhaps the opportunity to freshen things up. Holly Oldham came on at half-time at the weekend. She's granted a start this evening, but also I suppose it's a bit of a balance between the league, a big game on Sunday as well. Can you talk us through sort of the changes from your perspective, what you think the manager's mindset has been before we go through the starting 11s?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we've got a massive game at the weekend. London City at home. They're second in the league at the minute, doing really well. And like you said, we're in a little bit of a rut at the minute in the league, so it's a really important game. So obviously Karen has made sure that she's freshened the team up for tonight, maybe resting a few people for the weekend, but also giving a couple of the girls opportunities to show why they should be in the starting lineup. And like you said, Holly come on, done well at the weekend, so given an opportunity as well.
I'm really looking forward to this game as well, because Coventry City have visited here before at the Oakwood Stadium. The last time the two teams met, it was a really historic occasion. It was the team's first outing, first performance, first display as a professional side. What's it been like making that step? Obviously you've come from Arsenal, you've had so much pedigree, but for a lot of these players it's actually the first season they've had being a professional footballer.
Yeah, of course, and obviously like quite a few years ago now when I first turned professional at Reading, it was just really exciting, and I think especially for all these girls, there's a lot of young girls in the side that have just stepped up and become, well, in their first professional year, and they've just taken it really well. They're enjoying it every second, but obviously it's a learning curve at the end of the day, going from 2 training sessions a week to pretty much training quite a lot of the week leading into a game at the weekend. I think people are getting used to it, people are adapting, and it can only get better, and it's really great for Charlton that we've gone professional, but it is again a learning curve, and I think that's why we've stumbled a little bit recently. But again, we're a brand new team, a lot of young players, and hopefully as the league and the season goes on, I think we can slowly progress.
And as the players prepare to make their way onto the field of play, let's talk through the starting 11 for this evening. We're expecting Charlton to line up in a 4-3-3 formation to match that of Coventry City. We've got Eartha Cummins in goal, and going from left to right, Lois Hakan playing in the left back role. Anna Philby, who I must say has really impressed me so far this season, alongside Holly Oldham, who's handed a start tonight, and skippering the side, Rachel Newborough. In the middle of the park, we've got Lois Roach and Mia Ross, and in front of them, Alicia Solola, and a front three of Jess King, Elise Hughes and Emma Follis. Now, the manager does have plenty of options, some real quality on the bench, should she need them as well. The substitutes line up this evening: Sophie Hilliard, Megan Wynne, Kira Scales, Ella Rutherford, who of course scored the opening goal of the campaign in just under a minute the last time these two teams met, Mary Bashford, Beth Rowe and Alicia Grimmond, who I must say, on a personal level, that's lovely for me to see Alicia on the starting, on the bench I should say, because I have known her since she was a very young girl, a really talented goalkeeper who I knew was delighted to be given the opportunity to join the RTC, and that is so important, that pathway for young footballers, not only in South East London but in Kent and beyond, to know that there is a platform for them and to take opportunities. like the Continental Cup, that is going to be a huge moment for her.
100%, I completely agree. It's really important, especially in women's football, that we still look towards our academies, and we've still got that growth of women's football coming from our youth setup. Alicia, really good goalkeeper, very young, very raw, has been coming up from the under-21s to train with us, alongside Mary as well, who again another one really good prospect for the future. And it's really nice to see a couple of our youngsters in the squad today.
Yeah, some special memories, of course, and I'm sure we've got plenty of Coventry City supporters tuned in with us as well. So talking through their lineup, a number of changes as well, and quite surprisingly, actually, no Kate Wilkinson in the side. She scored 3 goals in 4 games. She misses out this evening, but perhaps, as we made the point earlier, some big league games coming up this week and a little bit of rest being utilised with personnel. So in goal for the visitors is Lucy Thomas, and talking through the defensive lineup from left to right, we're expecting Natalie Johnson, Naomi Hartley, Holly Chandler, Alana Mann, and in midfield, Dre Giorgio, Molly Green, and just in that number 10 role ahead of them, Freya Thomas with a front three. We're not quite sure what sort of formation they'll play, but we know they've got plenty of pace, and that's Ria Hardy, Olivia Ferguson, and Destiny Toussaint, hopefully getting that pronunciation right. And Charlton will be kicking us off this evening. It is very special having a night under the lights. It's the Continental Cup. Who knows what to expect in this 90 minutes as the players take their knee, a sign of solidarity there in the fight for equality and against racism. Still a very powerful symbol, and great to see Charlton and Coventry players there taking part. Referee blows her whistle and we are underway here. A long ball driving forwards towards the corner flag, nice and direct as we would expect early on. And how important is it going to be, particularly as it's a home game, to start the game on the front foot and be positive on the ball?
Yeah, I think it's really important. We like to say we want to start on the front foot, we want to start well first 15 minutes, and I think the last couple of games we haven't done that so well, so hopefully we've really looked towards that this game, and hopefully the girls start strong.
Well, they started strong, of course, last time these two teams met. I think it was 43 seconds on the clock when Ella Rutherford scored, and obviously the Addicts went on to win that game. It's going to be a very different contest this evening. I think even just with those number of wholesale changes, it's going to be a very different Coventry side tonight as the throw-in's taken on. It's headed away. The seconds being battled for there, and the referee gives the foul to Charlton. So an early opportunity perhaps to get bodies forward and to test from a set piece.
Yeah, definitely, and I think for us, the girls really look towards set pieces as goal scoring opportunities, and I think in football set pieces are really important, especially this day and age. I think a lot of set pieces can win or lose your games, and obviously we haven't got that one in the box this time, but we're still managing to keep the ball and try and make something of it.
Yeah, recycling possession now. The ball is over on that left-hand side. Creaked in, the cross comes in. It's Jordan, is just waiting for someone to finish it. That was a really good opportunity, getting the ball in the dangerous area there.
Yeah, no, really good. We had front post, back post runners. Just needed a slip ball at the back with maybe Mia Ross. Should really be hitting the penalty box there, but hopefully we've started well. Hopefully Emma Follis can keep driving at the back line, which she's been doing really well since she's come back from injury, so hopefully we can see more of that.
Charlton certainly in these opening 2 minutes dominating on the ball. Just cut out there by Coventry, who have had a tough start to the season. Their only victory of the campaign so far has been in this competition when they faced Watford back in October. So perhaps an opportunity for Charlton to be a bit ruthless and use this Continental Cup game to turn around fortunes ahead of a big derby on Sunday.
Yes, definitely. I think it's really important to try and hit some form now, and try and turn it around from the weekend, especially going into London City, like you said.
Throw in early on. Charlton making themselves very comfortable in the Coventry City half, and it's fantastic to see supporters coming out of an evening to support the girls in this competition. Oakwood has become a bit of a fortress, hasn't it? And that's really important no matter what level you're at, but certainly in a division as tough as the FA Women's Championship, to make it a hard place to come any day of the week.
Yes, definitely, and I think the girls feel really at home here, especially with a new squad, new bunch of girls. So we've really made our home ground our fortress, like you said, and hopefully we can keep that this tonight.
keeping plenty of clean sheets at home as well. And that will be really, really important. Given the manner of the goals conceded on Sunday, and this is an opportunity now for Charlton to show perhaps some lessons have been learnt. The ball closed down there. Jess King going back to do her defensive duties, which is really important, isn't it? To defend as a unit, and sometimes as a striker you have to drop back and do that part of your game as well. Yes, definitely, and especially when Coventry have got Toussaint down that side. She's very quick, she's very agile, she wants to drive at players, and if Jess can help double up with Lois, that would help her a lot. And we just, at the end of the day, for us, we want to be hard to beat, hard to break down, and with Jess doing that, that will help. And an interesting kind of centre-back combination of Holly Oldham and Anna Philby. The occasions that I've watched the Addicts play, Anna has played a bit further up the pitch, but she reads the game so well and has that additional bit of experience and leadership in that back four, of course, with Rachel Newborough, who is so hard to get past. Yeah, definitely. Anna's had a lot of experience, especially in the WSL with Spurs. She went on loan to Celtic last year, so another different experience for her. But she's technically very good, both right and left foot. So that's the reason why she can play centre midfield as well. But having her at the back trying to play through lines is great for us, and Holly can do the same. But yeah, Anna's started well this season. Hopefully she can continue that tonight. Yeah, a real consistent performer for Charlton so far this season as the ball gets... Oh, that was a good ball there. The vision was on, not quite the execution for Charlton, and it's sniffed out, but the cross does come in, hits the side net in there, and it will be a goal kick for Coventry.
Break receives outside of you. Either you or Lisa got to run into out for her.
And it does look like it is a straight match-up in the formations as well. The 4-3-3 being played by both teams. Although we're seeing quite a lot of congestion in the middle at the moment. Will that be something that Karen will be saying to girls to try and really open up the pitch and make the most of the flanks and the pace that the Charlton team does have? Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said previously, Emma Follis has been one of our strongest players this season, and her driving at players is something where we've created our chances. So it would be good to get her on the ball, driving at the left back, and Jess coming in on her right foot as well. Yeah, King there with a shot. And I suppose it's those kind of individual but collective targets as well. Like you're saying, that opening 15 minutes being so crucial. If you get a little bit of sight of goal, why not have a shot? And King has obviously got the technical ability to do so. And it just builds that confidence, especially after, you know, a few results where you haven't necessarily got the goals that have merited the displays that you've put on. Yeah, of course. And for Jess getting a start today after her goal at the weekend, a really good goal as well. So hopefully she's full of confidence, and it shows that she's coming in from the left-hand side and not afraid to have a pop. So hopefully she'll get another one tonight. Ross there just dispossessed, and the pull back there, trying to retrieve possession for her side, gifts the visitors an opportunity of their own from a set piece. And now it's Charlton who are having to get organised. I think the referee wants a little bit more of a word with Ross there. Yeah, we just need to make sure we set up really well for our defensive wide free kicks. I think we've really struggled a little bit this season with our defending set pieces, so hopefully we can set up well here and make sure we clear it. Cummins there just assembling her troops, giving out her orders. There's a two-player wall. Right-footed delivery comes in, lofted, and that's well seen by the keeper there.
Alicia, back foot, Alicia.
Just seeing whether there's a quick counter-attacking opportunity. It's thrown to Selena. That's a rush tackle coming in there, but the referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. So now it's down to Charlton to try and hunt out possession. King on that left-hand side, what can she do? She's certainly going to drive forward, a bit of a magnet to green shirts, plays it back. Good composure and good quick passing and pattern of play there from Charlton. And this is the kind of best of Charlton, when you're moving the ball and it's almost instinctive passing. Yeah, of course, it was nice play, and it's especially when you've got Lois in the midfield. She's very composed on the ball, and I think that's what she gives you when she plays in the four. We just need to make sure that we don't overplay. They obviously want a high press at the minute, which is something we can still play out from, but we just need to make sure that we're not too we play into trouble and get caught at the back. it's such a fine balance, isn't it? And especially in the modern game where centre-backs, I mean, every player has to be so technically gifted and composed on the ball, so it's that decision-making as well that's so important. But a more long, direct ball forward now is read well by the Coventry left back initially. Good bit of defending there by the visitors. Trying to switch up play. Salula. Out to Hukan. And it's about the physical battle as well, isn't it? Winning your 1v1s all over the pitch on a game like today, especially like we say in this opening 15 minutes, so important for Charlton to come out on the front foot. And they've won the foul.
Yeah, no, good play from Lois getting up down that left-hand side. I think we really need her to do that today, just to give us another body going forward, and another good opportunity in a wide area for a set piece. Hopefully, again, if we set this one up, we've got Follis and Lois on the ball, and they've got good quality, so hopefully they can get it into the right areas.
A good opportunity as we approach 10 minutes on the clock. Smart move there, the ball's whipped in. Oh, that looked like it nearly nudged a hand there, but a good delivery in there and a routine that you might well have seen on the training ground.
Yeah.
Not necessarily coming off, but a bit of creativity at least.
Yeah, no, like I said before, we do a lot with set pieces, and it's really important part of the game. And again, that was off the training ground, obviously, and it for me, it looked a little bit like handball, or not many people were calling for it. But they might have got away with one a little bit there.
It's so hard to tell, isn't it, in the speed of the game, but any sort of contact now, with the rule changing ball to hand, hand to ball, it was a good little delivery in, and the defenders just come in to protect the post, and it did look like it ricocheted. Luckily for us, we get to have a replay, unlike everyone else here at the Oakwood Stadium, and we can see the ball coming forward. Proper slow-mo there. Not quite the handball incident we were thinking, but maybe we'll get a replay of that later on. But as you say, the players weren't necessarily appealing it, and that's always a bit of a sign, perhaps. But
yeah, it's probably a bit of a sign that I've seen something they haven't seen.
No, I was the same as you. Salula for Charlton. Like I say, being a real magnet for green shirts. Dispossessed on this occasion, the tackle comes in, but Coventry able to carry it away, and they have travelled here to South East London on a defeat themselves. They lost 4-1 to Lewis at the weekend, and the manager Jay Bradford was just saying a little bit like Karen's post-match interview. Actually, it was about themselves and taking a little bit of a look at where they're at and knowing that they can do better, and that must sometimes be the biggest frustration of in the world, because in the Championship, you're punished if you don't turn up. Teams like Lewis, teams in that division like Palace, they're going to punish you. And it was a bit of a similar story in terms of the 2-0 deficit at half-time. No matter how good a display the girls put on in the second half, couldn't quite compensate at the weekend.
No, we couldn't. Oh, that's a lovely ball by Jess.
Jess King slotting it in there, and there's the finish to match. What a great goal there. Lois Roach nudging Charlton ahead there, wheeling away in celebration. A really nice delivery in, a really good weighted pass by King, who's getting a pat on the back there, and a delightful finish to match, Lauren.
Yeah, as we see it here again, it's a really good run from Lois, to be fair. Nice, smart little ball through the back line into Lois 1v1. Probably a little bit lucky that it went in. The goalkeeper might look at it back and say she could have done a little bit better, but for us, it's a great start. Like we said, we wanted a great start, first 15, and Lois getting on the goal scoring sheet as well, which is great, and she'll be really happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were saying as well that Charlton play their best football when it's instinctive, when it's fast tempo, and it was the instinctiveness of that ball by King that really incited that move forwards, and a really deft little finish as well. Like you say, the goalkeeper might be thinking she could have tightened up the angle there, but still, when you're in that position, you need composure. Perhaps you might have to have a word with the celebration though. What was that little jig about?
Lois is a dancer, so she enjoys a little bit of a move, to be fair. But look, I don't care, as long as she's scoring goals, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. We can always work on the celebrations, and it is Lois Roach who has put Charlton ahead on 12 minutes. Lauren said at the very start how important it was for the Addicts to come out of the blocks, to have a really good start to the opening 15 minutes, and Karen will be really pleased because not only have they got the goal, but from a defensive point of view as well, looking really, really solid at the back, and Coventry haven't created too many opportunities in the final third at all.
No, they haven't, which is good for us. We've started on the front foot. We've looked to start higher today in this game, defensively, just to stop them playing out a little bit and trying to win it higher up, which would be good for us. But no, we've stopped them from having any clear-cut chances, which is good, and we've had a couple of our own, so it's a good positive start from us, and hopefully it can continue from here.
Really impressive play from Charlton there, just like you say, playing out from the back, knowing the style of football that they want to play, and Olding on the ball now, a product of Brighton and Hove Albion's academy system. She went away and played in the States and is now coming and kind of not rebuilding her career back here, but sometimes for a player in the women's setup, when you're making that move from England to the States and back again, it can be a little bit unsettling, but she's really taken to life here at Charlton and is flourishing.
Yeah, and I think she probably would say it's a restart of her career. She had a really tough time with illness. She really struggled for a bit, and she thought she might not be able to play football again. So for her to come to Charlton, it's a new lease of life for her to start her career again. And she's getting another opportunity tonight. And hopefully she keeps her shirt for her sake. And like, she started well for the first 14 minutes, which is good. So yeah, it's good to see her back on the pitch and enjoying herself.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a long ball comes forward, and Olding is just going to let that run to Cummings. Charlton looking really composed, really in control, it must be said as well.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, when you've got Lois in that 4, she always wants the ball, which for a centre-half is great. But we need to make sure that we don't try and play out too much and in areas that we probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, you don't want to be inviting the mistakes, and there we go, that's it. Charlton, they're the masters of their own downfall, gifting possession. You can see the players are absolutely dismayed at that. There's a hand signal there.
And like you said, it's great composure playing out from the back, but they're ready to pounce, and you need to recognise that, and it's when you start to play forward and instead of trying to play out from the back, and you're taking a little bit of a risk there, and I think Mia will be devastated, but hopefully she'll learn from that mistake, and we can keep going in this game and try and find another goal.
And then perhaps as well the disappointment that sometimes when the mistake happens, it's the reaction as well. They're in Charlton not necessarily quick enough to react as a defensive unit to the pass that came in, closing down the strike as well. Yeah,
no, of course, and when you're losing it just outside your own box, obviously it's very difficult for fullbacks to get in when they're wanting to be high and wide. But no, we don't need to panic. It's only been 16 minutes on the clock, so we started really well. It was just another error, and probably that's where we've struggled really this season. We haven't really been broken too much. It's just little individual errors that have really cost us, especially at the weekend as well. So we need to really tidy up on them areas, because we know we can score goals. We've got really good forward players with Emma Follis. We've got Ella on the bench looking to come on. Jess, Elise, we've even got Winnie as well. We've got a really good attacking line, so we need to make sure that we're a little bit tighter at the back.
Yeah, really fair assessment of that goal, and the manner in which we just said it seconds before that Charlton were really competent, confident, composed in possession, which makes the manner of the goal conceded perhaps all the more disappointing. But it's about reaction and it's about character now, and credit to the visitors because they took their chance, they took their opportunity well, and with 17 minutes on the clock they find themselves in this game. It's Charlton 1, Coventry 1. We hope for some goals to keep us entertained on a chilly evening, and we started on that note, that's for sure. Charlton now down the right hand side. Some good feet, quick feet. The ball comes in there and it's just begging for a touch, and it trickles out there. And it is all about that response to go in, that kind of conceding that goal, and now just kind of not letting it destabilise, especially when you have been kind of perhaps coasting for the opening sort of 10 minutes or so. You don't want that to be too much of a shock to the system.
No, and exactly, and obviously we need to talk about Coventry there. They pressed really well, and they pressed as a group, and they've caught us at the end of the day, and we need to just be careful with that, because they have got that in their locker. They've got really quick forwards. They want to press, and we just need to make sure that we recognise that now. But like we said, it's not even 20 minutes yet. We still need to make sure we've started really well, and we need to make sure that we continue that.
Absolutely, give credit where it's due. Coventry got their opportunity. They're back level in the game. And the Continental Cup, for those perhaps who are tuned in, that are learning a little bit more about women's football now that Charlton have a professional setup, the Continental Cup is effectively the League Cup competition, and it's been around for several years. It's a competition you've played in a lot, but this season it's kind of gone into a group format. Can you talk us through that and how it's working?
Yeah, so it's always been a group format. There's a couple of groups that have got 5 teams, and in this group, with Charlton and Coventry, it's only 4. So once every team's played each other, it will come down to obviously the top teams out of each group will go through. The second place teams will be in a sort of playoff, so to speak. So the first place team out of all the second place teams will go through to the next round. So if you come in second, it's very difficult to get through anyways, with 5 other teams wanting to do the same. So you've got to get as many points as possible. Obviously we lost to Spurs our first game, and only 1-0. Obviously Spurs are a very good team. You see what they're doing in the WSL at the minute. So we weren't expecting too much from that game, but the other games, Coventry, Watford, we need to, if we're looking to try and reach that second place, we need to really make sure we're winning these games.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlton are in Group C, as Lauren says, alongside Coventry, Spurs and Watford. An opportunity tonight to get some points on the board in that group. Looked like the ball came off an arm there of the Coventry skipper, but play carries on. Charlton trying to move the ball forward.
You just see there how aggressive Coventry are in the middle of the park. They really want to press. They want to rat around. They want to be aggressive. And credit to them, they've done that in the middle of the park at the minute. I think where we're getting our joy is out wide. So trying to get Follis on the ball, trying to get Jess King on the ball, who obviously got the assist for the goal, might be a way to go in this first half.
It looks like the pitch has become really congested in a central area, like you say, which is probably the kind of thing that Coventry want to be forcing Charlton to do, to not spread the game out wide, because as we know, with the players and the pace and trickery, and since scoring the goal, Coventry have come out with some really good work by the number 10 Rio Hardy, just hustling for everything, not giving the Charlton back for any time, any respite, and perhaps sensing that there's another mistake or two to be had, and that's down to Charlton to combat that.
Yeah, of course, and I think if Coventry have done their homework, for us the last couple of games we have been caught out at the back trying to play out. We want to be a possession-based team, and we want to play out for the back, through the goalkeeper, through the back line. We just need to make sure we cut out a couple of the errors, and at the end of the day, it's costing us a little bit in games at the minute. So
Coventry doing well with the corner there. Jess King clearing for Charlton. Follis getting on the end of it, looking to navigate the ball round the defender. Sort of hacked attempt to try and win back possession. Newborough getting the block, but Coventry again, everything kind of falling the way of the visitors at the moment. Or there's lots of red shirts surrounding the ball, and then the ball just given away a little bit, just needing a bit more quality and application for Charlton, trying to get out of that defensive third and further up the pitch.
Yeah, I think we've lost a little bit composure, like we said previously. Don't know whether it's because we've conceded a goal, but we just need someone to get a hold of the ball at the minute and just relax us a little bit. Like we said, there's no need to panic, there's no need to rush, so hopefully we can do that now.
Follis on the ball for Charlton to King. King squares it. Ross playing it forward, and that's a good ball to Follis. Follis looking to chip over the cross there, kind of caught off balance somewhat, so probably not the quality delivery that we're used to seeing from her, but better play from Charlton.
And that's why we want to play out from the back. When it goes well, we can break lines, we can get Follis into the box. On another day, on another chance, she probably crosses that and we score. But that's why we play out from the back. We've got the quality, we just need to make sure it's when and where.
A little bit of a rugby tackle coming in there from Charlton's number 26, Lois Tukin. He's going to have a word and maybe even more. It looks like a yellow card, the first of the evening, is going to be distributed. And perhaps with a bit more experience, you use your body more effectively there. No need to give away the foul, and no need to get in the referee's book so early on with just 23 minutes on the clock. Yeah,
she just got wrong side there, and I think she's thought, probably need to pull her down, we need to stop the counter. And it's obviously a yellow card, but yeah, she needs to be careful now. Obviously she's got Toussaint on that side, she doesn't want to go giving too many more fouls away.
Absolutely, because there is plenty of time still to be played here this evening at the Oakwood. It's Cummings coming off her line, reads it well, and talk us through just how good a goalkeeper Eartha Cummings is. And she's got pedigree at an international level. It must be really reassuring to know you've got a goalkeeper like that to rely on as your last line of defence.
Yeah, of course, she's been really good this season. Technically she's very good. I think the game nowadays, you've got to have your goalkeeper that can play out, and she can definitely do that. And she's kept us in a lot of the games as well, and it gives the back four a bit more confidence when you've got a goalkeeper at the back that's been doing really well. So yeah, she's obviously got her call-ups to Scotland. She's still being picked, which is great, and that's what you like to see.
Jess King now coming forward. The ball is navigating around that 6-yard box, and Charlton nudge themselves ahead once more. Elise Hughes on the score sheet on this occasion. Really good switch up of play by the hosts there, being in the right place at the right time, and that all-important word, composure, in front of goal.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your number 9, being in the right place. Again, Lois and Jess linking up really well. Might get a little bit lucky, I don't know whether that was offside or not, but we'll take it. It's a great turn and finish, and that's what you want from your number 9, getting goals in the middle of the box.
Turn and finish indeed. It's Charlton 2, Coventry 1, and the game just kind of turned a bit of a nudge then in terms of the tempo, and Charlton just turning things up a notch. And I don't want to sound too repetitive, but when they do go up the gears in attack and the passing is quicker and faster, it unravels teams.
Yeah, definitely, and you've seen that with the 2 goals. It's just now making sure we're obviously doing really well going forward. We're having great opportunities. We need to make sure we're just a little bit more solid at the back. Make sure they don't get too many more opportunities, and hopefully we can go in at half time. I know we've still got 20 minutes to go, but a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable, that they don't get into the game a bit more.
Well, the opener did give Charlton a boost, and they enjoyed a really kind of dominant phase. Whether we will see that now for the Addicts, an opportunity perhaps to get a couple more goals, make it a bit more comfortable at half time, is exactly what the manager will be wanting, won't she?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, going in 2-1, obviously that Coventry is still in the game. It's a long way to go. But look, we've had quite a few chances of getting ourselves into good wide areas, getting ourselves into the box. Got 2 goals in 26 minutes, which is great. We just need to make sure we keep doing that now. And like I said, just being a little bit more composed at the back, making sure we're not playing out when we probably needed to go a little bit longer. And just cutting off their threat going forward, really.
It's going to be a throw on for the visitors. Ball hooked forward. Olding's got plenty of time to play the ball back. And it's just funny what a goal can do for body language and all sorts, because the Charlton defence were looking a little bit tense after conceding that goal, but now there's a real quality oozing in the play, and that's a blatant shirt pull on Jess King, and the referee is going to hold up play. It's taken quick, long, down the flanks. Over on this right-hand side, the ball is cut back. And the initial shot by Hughes is blocked. And that you're seeing Charlton there trying to press and win back possession and keep those attacking moves alive whilst it's looking really uncomfortable for Coventry.
Yeah, definitely. And again, Lois taking a quick free kick, which was the right thing to do, and getting in another good wide area position, and Elise getting on the ball, just couldn't get a shot off. But it's promising. We're getting in them areas quite a lot of the time, and hopefully we can convert a couple more.
Philby was looking to take that quickly for Charlton, but instead it looks like Lois Roach is going to stand over it, and perhaps again another opportunity for a routine from the training ground, because again from an aerial point of view there's plenty of tall players in the squads that can go forwards, and if they get a touch on it, whether it be the head, the feet, there's lots of finishers in this Charlton team.
Yeah, definitely. They're all taller than me, I must say.
You do wonder whether Roach will just play it direct. She does towards that penalty spot, because you never know where the ball might end up. It's headed back towards goal by the skipper Nubra. And Charlton just trying to get onto the scraps and use their quality to turn this into another positive attacking move. Nubra elects to play the ball back to Olding. Olding rolls it back to Nubra. Nubra to Cummings. Charlton enjoying plenty of touches on the ball now as we approach that half-hour mark. Olding again with the ball at her feet. Strides forward, plays it long. That's a nice ball to Roach. Roach to King over on the right-hand side now. Charlton are attacking. And we're seeing a lot more joy now down that right-hand side flank.
Yes, definitely. I think that's somewhere where we need to keep exploiting. Clearly they want to go down that side as well. So yeah, look, it's looking positive at the minute. We just need to make sure we keep at it, keep the pressure on. I must say Lois has had a really good start for the first half hour. I think she's involved in both goals, which is really good to see. Her getting up box to box, getting herself in the box as well, which is great. Something that we've been wanting from our centre midfielders as well for the last couple of games, so it's really good to see.
Ball spending a lot of time in the air there, but Olding getting a good strong header onto it, and it's Nubra on the ball. And for any international addicts tuning in to the live stream, you'd have seen Rachel yesterday. She was talking about this game, previewing it, and just saying again how pleased she was to have the opportunity to be out playing today after Sunday's game. The opportunity to right a few wrongs was the way that she described it.
Yeah, no, honestly, as a footballer, the last thing you want is to wait another week for a game. So to have one on 2 days later is great for the girls.
Good defending by Olding there. As Philby, one of the more experienced players there, just taking her time. And Charlton just keeping control of the ball. Sensible passing. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, definitely. And bringing it back to Philby, you say she's one of the most experienced players on the team. She is. She's still only 21, 22, so she's got a lot of her career left, and it's really exciting for her.
It's like, you sit there as a commentator sometimes, so enviable at a player like that. Like you say, you know, she's played a lot of games, but still at a tender age, and has got such an exciting career ahead of her. And with the expansion of the women's game as well, Euro 2022 around the corner, there can't be a better time to be a professional footballer in the female game.
No, definitely. It's obviously women's football is becoming so much bigger, and the Euros being in England next year, obviously that can only create a bigger boom for women's football in England especially. So yeah, I'm really jealous of the young kids growing up in women's football today. I'm not that old, but over the next 5 to 10 years I think you're going to really see women's football become even bigger.
Yeah.
Which will be really nice to see once I've retired.
And absolutely, for any sort of young Charlton supporters, those involved in the RTC, those that just, you know, aspire to put on a Charlton shirt, it's not a pipe dream anymore. It's a realistic opportunity, and we mentioned her earlier on, but Alicia Grimman is an example of that. A young player that's worked hard, come through the ranks, and at a really, really tender age is being given the opportunity to gain experience at a first team level.
Exactly, and like you said, it shows that it isn't a pipe dream, and people do get given opportunities if they're good enough. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you're good enough, you'll be in. So especially for the girls in the RTC, looking up to them too, especially coming from the RTC and the academy, it shows that it can happen. So hopefully some of the RTC are watching tonight. But yeah, no, it's something that they can actually look forward to and push and strive for.
Well, I certainly hope we do, because of course it's part of the development model at the football club for both the men's and the women's team to have a sort of certain style and manner. So the way that the girls are set up this evening and what we're seeing Karen do is the same style of coaching that's going to be embedded into those younger players. So this is a great opportunity for them as well to develop their game. It's not always about playing and training. Sometimes it's kind of watching senior players and picking things up from them.
I think it's so important for young kids to be watching football. Any type of football, whether it's women's football, men's football. I think it's so important. You learn by watching as well, not just playing. And for young kids watching now, I think even if you can't come down to games, even if there's a live stream, just getting a bit of knowledge, watching the game, I think it's so important.
It really is, because that tactical awareness and understanding now, it's not just about your technical ability. You've got to be an all-round package, particularly to succeed at this level. So if you are tuned in and you're a younger player, we hope you're enjoying the coverage this evening. You didn't even have to put loads of layers on, like Lauren and I. We've got your back. We'll freeze, it's fine, but we're happy to bring you this coverage as a crunching tackle comes in there. Commitment from both players, but can't quite make out the number of the player down for Charlton. It looks like it's at least...
No, I think it's Lois.
Is it Lois down?
Yeah, Lois Roach. We're just seeing it back here.
So the first touch, it was a ball to be won there, and it's part of the battle, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 really, and to be honest, it has gone Coventry's way, which I actually agreed with. I thought it was going our way. But no, I think it was a good tackle by Coventry, and I think Lois was slightly late there.
Yeah, the initial touch of the pass was slightly heavy, and then the Charlton goal scorer trying to make up for it there. And again, that comes down to, as a player sometimes, the concentration level, so that your first touch is good, so that it doesn't then lead to a mistake that evolves now into an opportunity for the visitors to test Charlton from a set piece. It is a long direct ball forwards for Charlton to have to defend. The header comes down into the box. It's cleared initially. Toussaint is going to let that roll out for a throw, which she takes. And it rolls, and Charlton are able to clear their lines, but only so far as Molly Green. She's done well there, but the block is made. A nice turn from Follis. Real good composure there. Nice bit of footwork. Salula plays it back, and it's a hooked ball there, and it goes out of play for Charlton. It's just about keeping that intensity up in the counter-attacking opportunities as well.
Yeah, it is, and I think, like you said, a great turn by Follis, and I think that's what you get from her. She likes driving with the ball. She likes turning and driving at players 1v1. But yeah, when we've won the ball back, we need to make sure we are hitting our 9. We are trying to get a little bit higher. And not making two mistakes by kicking the ball out of play and things like that. I think the girls will, like we said, we want to be a possession-based team, and I think we need to again cut out little errors like that, just kicking the ball out of play.
And it's a really good opportunity to get another win on the board here at the Oakwood Stadium ahead of a trip. No, not a trip. They're going to be playing London Lions City here on Sunday as well. And you talk about momentum. That will be really important, won't it? To get a win tonight, just to end that little route of 5 games. Welcome London City here. Like you mentioned before, they're one of the teams in the division that have got that full-time model as well, which is important to point out. Great to see them making that investment. And it's a local derby as well.
It is another local derby. Yeah, like you said, it would be great if we could pick up a win here. A little bit of confidence for the girls, a couple of goals going into the weekend, because like we said, it's such an important game, as it's a derby as well. And we've had a couple of losses recently, so yeah, we don't want to slip too far behind the league. I think we're 6th at the minute. So we really need to start picking up some points, especially at home. Like we said, we're making it a fortress at the minute, so we want to keep that going.
And truly, it has been a bit of an inconsistent league. I think perhaps that's partly down to the competition, or perhaps it is the number of teams that are kind of moving into full-time models versus those against part-times. It's a very unpredictable division.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think you could just say it's us. I think it's everyone at the minute. You don't know who's going to come out with the win, who's going to lose, even if it's home or away. So it's exciting for the neutral, but as a club, for us, I think we want to try and be a bit more consistent, and just get a couple of wins under our belt and going into Christmas, and then for the second part of the season, hopefully we can continue that.
Charlton there looking to play out, and they've done really, really well. Unfortunately, on that occasion, though, just dispossessed Jess King. It's a really, like you said earlier on, it's a real physical battle in the middle of the pitch as well, and it's one that Coventry City have really excelled in, to be fair. They're a good physical team. Yeah, they are. They're matching us in the middle. They're going 1v1 with the centre midfielder, so as soon as you play into a midfielder, they're always up your backside. But when we play out like that, which is great, Lois driving forward, getting Follis on the ball, hopefully we can get another cross in now. Yeah, really lovely play from Charlton here. Can Follis come up with the cross, execute the pass? And that's a brilliant pass at the back stick, and she's doubled her tally for the evening. Elise Hughes getting there. Brilliant play. Yeah, definitely. Follis coming off the line, getting Lois and Follis in the pocket and driving, which is great. And then again, like we said, I keep saying it, Follis 1v1 is frightening when you get her in the box. And again, another really good number 9 finish at the back post. That's what you want from Elise, and she'll be really happy with the 2 goals so far. A brilliant assist and a calm finish to match. A really, really nice bit of play there from Charlton, and the word that springs to mind is just the quality of that cross there. Just, she knew where her teammate was going to be, she knew where the run was coming in, and perhaps the marking could have been tighter, but that's not Charlton's problem to worry about. No, it's not. I think Coventry will be a little disappointed that they allowed Follis to come in on her right foot. I mean, they know she's right-footed, you want to take her down the line, and yeah, Elise really open at the back post, so yeah, they'll be really disappointed, but for us, it's great. It's really good getting our number 9 another goal. And again, another bit of confidence for her going into the weekend again. And yeah, another goal. And it's about being ruthless in front of goal, no matter who you're playing against, but especially at home as well, which is something that the manager Karen Hills really emphasised at the weekend. Disappointed with the display at Crystal Palace, and I think you can tell how charged up the girls are in this opening 40 minutes or so. What do you think the manager's assessment will be in terms of the execution of the game plan so far? Oh, she'll be delighted. Obviously, 3 goals. I think any manager will be delighted going into half time. I think she'll be saying just tidy up a few things, tidy up playing out from the back. Don't give away silly free kicks, giving them opportunities for set pieces, but just keep doing the same thing. It's obviously working, getting the ball into the box and getting Lois into the pocket at the minute, which has been working really well. And yeah, just a bit same again going forward. I think, yeah, it's been great. It's been a really positive opening 40 minutes or so here at the Oakwood Stadium. Thank you so much for your company if you're joining us on YouTube or via Charlton TV. It's the Continental Cup that's keeping us entertained this evening. But of course, Coventry and Charlton have met before in the league. There was a victory then, and at the moment, Charlton are looking on course for a victory in this competition as well. Coventry visit on the back of a loss, but so to Charlton, and both teams really wanting to atone that. And apart from that kind of slip up with the goal conceded, it has been relatively all Charlton this evening. Yes, definitely. We'll be really happy going into half time. We look in control of the game. Like you said, the goals was obviously really disappointing, but I think we've actually done really well since the goal. We've created quite a few chances, getting in good areas, and they haven't had too many chances after their goal, which is what we'll be happy with. Charlton, of course, picked up 3 points against Coventry in the opening game of the season here at the Oakwood in the league. Ella Rutherford scored a brace and Beth Rowe got on the score sheet as well. The referee's blown up there.
Yeah, because she got in the way of the ball. As a footballer, it's really annoying when the referee gets in the way, but it's fine.
Coventry will restart proceedings for us. They play the ball out onto the right-hand side, and that's well seen. And Follis on the ball. Oozing confidence now, and a bit of swagger. Even with 43 minutes on the clock, she's put in quite a shift and made a massive contribution.
Yeah, she has, definitely. Like she has for the last couple of games, and she's continuing that tonight. I think Karen will be really happy with the girls that have come in tonight who didn't start the last game. I think obviously Elise up front getting 2 goals in the first half, Jess creating a lot, Alicia getting into the pockets. I think again Holly being quite solid at the back. Yeah, like it's been good. It's been exciting. So it gives Karen a bit of a headache coming for the weekend to see who she starts that game. But no, and Lois as well. Obviously, Lois has done well down this left-hand side. So gives her a headache. It's good for us that everyone's performing tonight. And that's what you want from your squad. You want everyone performing, everyone with high confidence going into a big game.
Well, it's a key ingredient for success, isn't it? Having a squad that's hungry but also takes their opportunities when they come. And of course, Charlton did make 5 changes to the lineup this evening, and as you say, many of whom are really putting in a good contribution to get the shirt for the next game as well. I'm sure there's some people on the substitutes bench as well, but that is what you need. And as a player as well, you need your teammates to be the ones to push you on so that you dig deeper and you find that extra 5-10%
100%.
to keep hold of your shirt.
And competition in teams as well is really important to improve the squad as a whole. I think the girls that haven't been starting the last couple of games have been working really hard in training, doing extras, making sure they're pushing the starters, which is what you need in any team. And we just need to make sure that continues throughout the season.
We've mentioned her on a couple of occasions there. Elise, she's doing really well to win her team a throw-in, which was taken by the skipper. And Rachel Nuber again is just another name, another player that's been so consistent, and I couldn't quite believe that this is her first professional contract. She was Charlton's second pro sign-in, but she was telling us on this call with the International Addicts last night how she'd wake up at 5, go to the gym, do her day job, play football. It really can't be emphasised enough how much of a difference that equal opportunity makes, and the fact that it was one of the first things that the owner Thomas Sangard did speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, and it was great from him to do that. I think it's really important to get as many professional women's teams as possible, and yeah, hopefully over the next 5 years we can get even more. But for us, talking about Rachel, she's a great person, she's a really good player, and yeah, I've known her at Reading previously, but no, it's good for her to get her first professional call up. She deserved it.
Absolutely, and Charlton deserve this lead as well. We've got a few highlights to look back on. From an entertaining opening 45 minutes, it must be said, Charlton have a 2-goal advantage at the break, and manager Karen Hills will be absolutely delighted. We can see the players there having their team talk, wanting to amend the errors and the disappointment of Sunday. And they had an early chance courtesy of Jess King. Had to do a little bit of defending as well, but eventually broke the deadlock. And that pass, that ball, and the finish as well was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think the pass is perfect. Time to perfection. A little dink in between the fullback and the centre half. It's a great forward run from Lois from deep. And like we said, the goalkeeper might be slightly disappointed she didn't save it, but for us, it's great.
And Coventry did find their way back into the game. A goal really that was gifted to them somewhat. Charlton giving away possession. A fine finish, but Charlton found the response as well. Another well-worked goal. A fine turn and a finish to match by Elise Hughes. Being clinical, which is exactly what the manager wanted in front of goal.
Definitely. Yeah, again, that's what you want from your 9, picking it up in the penalty box and turning and finishing.
And a third was added by Hughes again at the back stick, finishing off a lovely delivery from Follis in the right place at the right time. Instinctive finish, 3-1 up at the break, and no real complaints.
No, not at all. Going forward, especially, I think we've looked really frightening. It's probably the best, in possession going forward that I've seen from us for a while, which is great to see. Just need to tidy up a few errors playing out from the back and popping it into midfield. Just need to be a little bit careful as where the goal come from. But apart from that, I think Karen will be really happy going into the break 3-1 up.
Absolutely. Well, do join us for the second period as well. Lauren and I would absolutely love your company. At the break, though, we can chew over 4 really entertaining goals, 3 decent finishes as well. At the break, it finishes Charlton 3, Coventry 1. Welcome back to Charlton TV's coverage of some Continental Cup football. It's the Addicts versus Coventry City. And the girls have gotten off to a fantastic start, a brilliant opening 45 minutes, which sees the hosts take a 3-1 advantage into this second period. After 12 minutes, Lois Roach put Charlton ahead. The visitors, though, to their credit, took their opportunity and responded. They equalised courtesy of Olivia Ferguson before a brace from Elise Hughes. Two really good bits of finishing, good bit of movement from the Charlton forward, made sure that they took the advantage in at the break. It's 3-1, and I'm absolutely delighted that joining me alongside you for this second half is the Charlton captain, Lauren Bruton. Lauren, give me your thoughts on that opening 45 minutes. Game plan executed perfectly, I would imagine.
No, definitely. Going 3-1 in at half time, obviously you can't be too disappointed with that. I think, like we said, really good going forward. We've created loads of opportunities, taken most of our opportunities, but we just need to tidy up a little bit at the back, playing out. Don't give them any more chances than they've had when they've nicked it while we've been playing out. So yeah, but apart from that, Karen will be delighted and hopefully just continue the way it finished.
Yeah, a really fair assessment there as Coventry get us underway for the second half. Here under the lights at the Oakwood. We're back here again, of course, on Sunday for the visit of London City Lionesses, but back into FA Women's Championship action. And Lauren, we were saying it was so important, and there is still a long way to go in this game, of course, but so important to respond positively after the derby defeat. This is kind of a sandwich, isn't it, between the derbies, but to respond, and do you think the manner in which the team have responded, despite some wholesale changes to the starting 11, will be one of the things that pleases the manager the most?
Yes, definitely. I think we've responded really well to the loss at the weekend. We've looked threatening going forward. We've made quite a few changes, but them players have come in and responded really well. They're obviously fighting for their shirt for the game at the weekend. So yeah, it's been a great start, and hopefully it continues in the second half.
A yellow card brandished early on in this second period, and it is to the Charlton. No, I can't see actually what player it went to. We have to have a little look back on that and find out what player that went to there. Just taking my eyes off the action for a minute, just looking to see whether Charlton had made any changes at the break, but it doesn't look like they have. So it was a 4-3-3 formation with Eartha coming in the Charlton goal, a black flat four as Coventry just attack now. Awesome, good defending by Olding there. A flat back four of Lois Tucan, Anna Philby, Holly Olding, and the captain Rachel Newborough this evening. Ahead of them in midfield, Lois Roach and Mia Ross, with Alusha Salula playing in that number 10 role, with a front three of Jess King, Emma Follis and Elise Hughes. And that front three in particular really did shine in spells in the opening half. We were saying, weren't we, Lauren, about when Charlton play instinctively and quickly, they can really unravel defences.
Yeah, definitely, and there was really good link-up play between Jess and Lois for the first goal, and the second goal for Elise, with Lois and Jess again getting into the box. So yeah, like it's been really positive, and like you said, if we continue playing like that, Coventry won't be able to handle us.
Charlton on the ball now, talking about sharp passing, the captain there really looking after the ball, making some sensible decisions, because whilst you have to credit the finish by Olivia Ferguson, the goal that the visitors did score was one that was gifted to them almost, with Charlton trying to play in that style that we're used to and accustomed to watching, playing out of the back there and giving possession, and that was really the only means that Coventry had of creating any chances in the first half, which is credit to the Charlton defence.
Yeah, of course, and there I think they've made a sub. I think Charlie Escort's on for Molly Green, and she's driving with the ball and she's taking shots from 30 yards out, which for us we'd rather that than them get into the box. But yeah, I mean, I've known Charlie from Reading. She's a good little player, good young player. She likes driving with the ball, comfortable with the ball, without pressure. She likes to spray it, and she will take shots from outside the box. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how they line up now with Charlie in that midfield.
Yeah, Karen Hill's making plenty of changes, in the Coventry manager Jay Bradford as well, following their defeat against Lewis. lost 4-1, and in the post-match was really disappointing. She felt that her team had been quite dominant in phases against Lewes, but of course if you're not getting the goals and if you're not making those dominant phases count, it's going to cost you. And fortunately for Charlton this evening, the story of the game so far has been when they have been on top, they've managed to get the goals to match and reflect that.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day with football, I think the main point is as long as you're keeping the goals out of the back of your net, and when you've got forwards for us like Emma Follis, Elise Hughes, Jess, we've obviously got players who would normally start for us on the bench, you've always got a chance of winning a game. So yeah, definitely, and it will be the same for Coventry. I mean, you just want to be strong and hard to beat out of possession. And then you've got half a chance.
We spoke about the importance of widening the game, getting down the flanks there, and some lovely link-up play between Follis and Nubra there. Just a shame it didn't quite come off into a sort of shot or target or something to trouble the Coventry City keeper, but nice to see that link-up play evolving as the game goes on. Yeah,
definitely, and hopefully we see more of it. We've said previously, Follis, that is Follis's game. She likes linking up with players, driving at players. And Rachel's a fullback. She wants to get forward. She wants to be a part of the attack. And it's nice to see her getting a little bit higher up now.
Well, that's part of the modern day fullback, isn't it? You have to be pretty immaculate from a defensive point of view, but your coach will be expecting you to bomb forward and to produce crosses and to get involved in the action. And we're seeing a little bit of a glimpse of that from Nubra already in the opening 5 minutes of this half. Some great work there by the goal scorer. Roach tees up another Charlton attack. The Addicts starting this second half, picking up where they left off. A lovely bit of work from King there. Gets the cross in as well, trying to find Follis on the inside post. Coventry now having to do some desperate defending to clear their lines, and a really positive bit of movement, and then also the quality of the cross in there from King.
Yeah, lovely little Megs there by Jess, driving into the box. And getting a really good crossover. It's just, I don't know if Follis has just missed it at the front post, but no, brilliant from Jess, continuing her form from the first half.
Absolutely lovely little turn there by Hughes, who will be looking to take the match ball home, I suspect. Hungry to get another goal this evening. Really impressive display from her so far. And really important, I think, from a mentality perspective from Charlton. Comfortable in the lead, but not taking anything for granted and still wanting to go after more goals. As the ball is crossed in there, it's a good cross, good strong hand to it from the Coventry keeper there, and they clear their lines again. But it's not that anyone's taking their foot off the gas.
No, and we shouldn't. I think if we're driving forward like this and we're keeping the ball in their half, I think that's how we'll win the game. Another great third man run from Lois into the box. Good goalkeeping. We'd like to see another centre midfielder coming in at that penalty box just to finish it off. But again, another great piece of play.
The ball bobbling around there. The clearance isn't the greatest. It gives something for Follis to run onto. Plays it back to Nubra. Nubra hooks the ball towards the corner flag, and Follis with her back to goal there gets the touch. But in terms of those kind of KPIs from an attacking principle, getting those crosses in, getting those balls into the box, overloading where possible, are all really, really positive signs.
Yeah, definitely. That's where we've been getting the most joy this game, with Follis and Jess on the wings. Yeah, and just and playing out from the back. I think Coventry have really dropped off this second half. I don't know if it's their tactic or if they're tired, or if it's or whatever, but it's given us a little bit more control of the game and playing in their half, which is what we want.
It's really noticeable. You're right, Coventry, particularly in that opening sort of 10 to 15 minutes, were pressing really high and gaps were emerging, but they certainly have dropped back a little bit now, almost inviting the pressure somewhat. And with ball playing defenders in your team like that, you don't have to panic when you're a Charlton player. It might look a little bit congested, but as long as you're patient on the ball, and that is exactly what Charlton are demonstrating now, just passing the ball through the third. Some nice build-up play there, just unfortunate it missed Hughes, but recycling possession and getting back on the ball. You can hear Karen there saying change it somewhat, and perhaps looking for that switch up. Olding there does switch it up and bring the ball back onto that right hand side, because it has been such a good avenue so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think the switch is really important against a low block. I think you just need to keep them moving and finding the gaps. I think if we keep going down one side like we were it will be easier for Coventry to defend. So if we keep switching it, keep using Lois as that pivot point, and then hopefully we can get in on the opposite side.
Salou there over on that left hand side launches an effort from distance. It would have taken something quite spectacular from that range, but still, again, we mentioned it in the first half that Karen was wanting the team to be bold, to be brave, and getting any sight on goal there. The way that she's opened up her body, left-footed, gets the shot away. And that's no bad thing, really. If you see that opportunity, you want your strikers to be in confidence to go for it.
Yeah, no, good from her for to have the confidence to strike. Jess might be a little bit disappointed. She was there in the box for a cross, getting in front of her player, so she might be a little disappointed. But no, it can't take away a forward having a strike.
And it's a head injury, it looks like, for Salula there. Hopefully nothing too bad. And this pause in play gives us an opportunity, Lauren, to find out how you are. I know that you've turned things up a notch, which is really pleasing to hear with your rehab. How's everything going? How did the operation go? Fill us in.
Yeah, the operation went really well. I've been back running, back in rehab outside on the pitch, which is obviously the nicest thing. No one wants to be stuck in the gym all the time. But no, I've been running, been getting touches on the ball, which is great. Should be back in training with the girls next week, which is really exciting for me. So yeah, it's all positive, going in the right direction.
I'm so pleased to hear it. That's like an early Christmas present for us Charlton supporters to have you back, and you must just be really desperate to get involved, to make that kind of competitive debut and contribute towards this team, especially when they're looking for that consistency. With your experience and leadership, that must be something that you're hoping to bring.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really it's frustrating for me coming in to a brand new team, being announced as club captain and not being able to set foot on the pitch. It's gutting, and it's really hard to just be there for the girls off the pitch. But no, I'm really excited to be able to finally kick on and get some minutes for the team, which will be really nice.
Oh, it'll be fantastic. It's the highs and lows of football, though, and timing sometimes does go against you. But obviously, you've been working incredibly hard to get back into the team before Christmas, and there's plenty of games to get you involved with. Of course, there is another game in the Conti Cup against Watford. That's away, and then Liverpool away. Is that potentially one that you've got your eye on to feature?
Well, I don't want to say too much, just in case, but no, yeah, we've still got a couple of games. I think there's an FA Cup thrown in there somewhere as well. But I mean, I'd love to play in a game against Liverpool. I mean, one of the best teams in the league, a big club. So maybe, hopefully, if everything goes well, we could potentially see me in the squad. But I don't want to give too much away.
Well, no, fingers firmly crossed. And of course, with all of these things, it's about doing rehab and making sure that you're in the right condition that you possibly can be, so that when you do return and you put on that Charlton shirt, it will be onwards and upwards for sure. And I'm so pleased to hear that the rehab's going well. And the foul given away by Charlton there, just working hard, but the execution of the tackle making it a rather easy decision for the referee. And it's a chance now for Coventry to push bodies further up the pitch. Perhaps the first chance of this second period, really, that they've had the opportunity to do so. And Nubra there heads the ball off. It will be a throw on. Coventry's only win this season has come in this competition against Watford, and they visit the Oakwood this evening on the back of a horrible run of their own. But I can kind of sympathise with the manager and see where she's saying it's not for lack of work rate or endeavour. It is perhaps just that final bit of quality in the third that's lacking. Although right now there's a little bit of quality from Hardy navigating her way against Oldham, but Oldham sees it out and clears her lines.
Yeah, I feel like they can't be too disappointed. But I mean, they work really hard. You can see it in this game. They like to press. They like to be dogged in the midfield. At the end of the day, they're the same as us. They've got a brand new team, a lot of new girls. So it's just about gelling and getting the right balance. And just at the end of the day, this season for them will probably just be staying up, building as a squad and going from there, really. But for tonight especially, they're missing their top goal scorer. Obviously Hardy's their top goal scorer, but Katie Wilkinson has been known in the Championship for scoring a lot of goals and being really prolific. So it'll be difficult for them tonight without her. But yeah, maybe it's because they've got a big game at the weekend. Who knows? Obviously, a lot of teams tonight would have changed and made quite a few substitutions and things like that. So it might be that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of managers to consider at this time of year as Salula breaks for Charlton there and is upended, and it's a chance again perhaps for a routine from the training ground to be implemented. We'd love to see another Charlton goal as we approach the hour mark. And unsurprisingly, Follis, we see, makes her way over, wants a little bit of a sniff at this, perhaps another assist, get involved, or on this occasion maybe just offering another option for Charlton. The ball comes in towards that penalty spot. It's kept alive by Salula, played out wide. Follis will hustle for this, not Follis rather, Philby will hustle for this before running back to take up her centre-back position there, darts back. And it's important, isn't it, to have that shape consistently, especially when you're a defender wanting to get involved in the attacking moves. I suppose you must always be mindful of what's going on behind you as well.
Yeah, of course, but obviously from set pieces and when we lose the ball in transitions, we want to press, we want to make sure that they don't get out and counter. So that was good from Philby, and we've got the ball back now.
Charlton really beginning to camp deep into the Coventry City half. As Lauren said earlier on, the high press was really part of the game management really from Coventry's perspective, but they have dropped off somewhat, and that means that Charlton are dominating the possession stats. It's now about making that possession count and adding to their tally of goals. Goal scorer Lois Roach on the ball there, but Coventry clear, it's headed away. Follis nudges the ball to Ross. Ross hooks it forward, and maybe now it is just about that word again, composure from a Charlton perspective. They're enjoying a lot of time on the ball. It's about just using it most effectively.
Yeah, and it's just managing the game as well. I think 3-1 up. I know we want to go for the jugular really. We want to keep pressing and keep making sure we're creating chances and getting a couple more goals, but we also need to just manage the game. We're 3-1 up. We don't want to give away too many silly chances to Coventry. As we've seen in the first half, they can create chances from pressing high. But yeah, we just need to manage the game a bit more, and it's a little bit more composed now. Obviously Lois dropping into a back three. But yeah.
All good signs for Charlton at the moment, who are searching for their first win in 5 games. But I think Lauren and I have spoken about it. The team's developing, finding its clicks and personnel, and it wasn't panic stations or anything like that at all, but it is also, on the same note, good to get that win under your belt and put an end to any sort of run that could be construed as that. Yeah,
definitely. I think no footballer or any team likes losing, especially in a derby of that magnitude as well. But yeah, it will be really important for the girls' confidence. Just a little bit confidence for everyone really. The girls who have come in today and done really well. Just the whole vibe around the club will be a lot better throughout the rest of the week going into the game. I think every team and every player will understand how important it is to win a game after a loss of that magnitude as well. So yeah, this will be really important for us.
Charlton now having to do some defending. It's the first corner of this half for the visitors. The signal goes up. The right-footed delivery comes in, looking for the head of Hardy, but instead Charlton clear their lines, and good, robust defending there.
Yeah, really good defending corner. We just need to make sure we clear it a little bit better than that. But no, luckily enough, we got the goal kick.
You can see the ball out there, and it's taken quickly by Cummings. Charlton playing out of the back like we are used to seeing. Ball rolls along square to Philby. Philby looking at her options, back to Olding. That centre-back pairing's a really nice one. They look very comfortable alongside each other.
Yeah,
very comfortable on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, that's Philby's strength. She's technically very good, composed on the ball. And Holly coming in as well, having a good game. But yeah, Coventry liking to press as soon as we play into the fullbacks there. Us winning a free kick, but like we said at the start, their wingers are very quick and they like to press as soon as the fullbacks get the ball. So yeah, we just need to be a bit careful with that.
Yeah, whilst Charlton have a 3-1 advantage, as Lauren points out there, no resting on the laurels. This Coventry side have shown plenty of fight, plenty of hustle, and as we saw in the manner in which they secured their equaliser, they can grab a goal as well. A clinical finish there, so Charlton are going to have to stay focused as they look to try and find a way of extending their advantage, but with 64 minutes on the clock, it's Charlton 3, Coventry 1 in the Continental Cup at the moment. And if the scoreline stays the same, then Charlton will gain their first 3 points in this competition. They are, of course, in Group C alongside Spurs, Watford and tonight's opposition, Coventry. This, in fact, was the scoreline, of course, when the two teams met in the league. It was a really historic moment, Charlton's first game as a professional outfit, and on that occasion Ella Rutherford came up with the brace and Beth Rowe was on the score sheet as well. At the moment it's Elise Hughes with the brace and Lois Roach with the other Roach opening the scoring with a lovely finish in the first half. No goals of yet in this second period, but that is perhaps to be expected to a certain degree from a Charlton point of view, just wanting to keep things calm, composed, and not necessarily having to chase the game, which is a really nice position to be in, considering where the game was at half-time on Sunday. Definitely,
I think that third goal really helped us going into half-time. I think, like I said before, a 2-1, the other opposition are still in it. With you can score a goal and it's level. So going in 3-1, there's a little bit more of a comfort zone for us. But yeah, we just need to be a little bit tidier. Again, just being a little bit sloppy. I think we just need to keep concentrated, manage the game, and try not give away too many set pieces in and around our box. Yeah, as we saw then, it just didn't click quite right between Newborough and Olding, and Coventry were able to get the throw in. And whilst it wasn't in a dangerous position, it's just like you say, tidying things up and keeping personal standards and collective standards really, really high, because that again is all part of game management and the professionalism of seeing out results. Yeah, definitely. And like their goal, a cheap little mistake in the middle of the park, and we get punished. So we just need to tidy up, don't get too complacent with the 3-1. And like Karen's saying there, keep it 2-touch. But yeah, look, we're playing really well tonight. We just need to keep it consistent. And for those of us that are perhaps not so tactically aware, the 2-touch is basically making the point of keeping the game moving, keeping it fast, instinctive, like we've been repeating throughout the game. Yeah, of course, and like I said, the fullbacks are being pressed really heavily straight away. I think with Coventry, their press is coming when we play into our fullback. And that's when they really want to start high pressing. So Rach can't take too many touches, and obviously the same on the opposite side. So we just need to keep the ball moving. And then as soon as we keep the ball moving and keep it moving quickly, we can break their press. Good work rate there from Coventry, putting Newborough under a lot of pressure. But still, Charlton come away with the ball, which is really, really pleasing to see. Defenders getting lots of touches on the ball at the moment. It will just be about moving the ball through the thirds and getting that front three on the ball a bit more. Follis and King in particular have been a bit quiet in the last 5 minutes or so, and they're influential players that Charlton will want the ball at the feet of. Yeah, definitely, and Philby playing into the pocket for Elise there was great, and getting her on the half turn. So we need to do that a little bit more. We've got runners in behind with Jess and Foal. So yeah, moving the ball along the back is great, and you just need to make sure you're not playing it for no reason. You need to play with a purpose to move their players and find the pockets like we just did there. Playing with purpose is a really good expression, and that's exactly what Coventry are doing there. They've won the foul, but they're playing quickly. They're trying to catch Charlton out of shape, and it's worked effectively for them because they've got another corner. Yeah, and we just need to be mindful. We need to have a bit more game management there, just making sure we're standing over the ball, not letting them play quickly, because they are quick going forward. And we just need to make sure we're a little bit more astute with our defending there, and hopefully we get this corner clear. Another substitution for the visitors this evening. Keely Davis introduced to proceedings, and she can get involved right away as Coventry have a corner. The delivery comes in, and it finds the number 22, Naomi Hartley, with a cheeky little back heel there.
And Coventry winning the seconds and the thirds, keeping the attack alive there.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we clear our lines better. I think it's sloppy clearing really 3 or 4 times there, so we put ourselves under a lot of pressure.
Coventry enjoying one of their better spells of the match, certainly of this second period so far, as the ball comes in from the right-hand side. That's well seen. Good goalkeeping there, because sometimes when you're not having a lot to do as a goalkeeper and it's a cold evening, it's important to stay alert and sniffle out any opportunities, but also in terms of having your impact on the game. When a keeper comes off their line so confidently, claims the ball, it's really reassuring as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't know how it feels to be a goalkeeper standing in this freezing cold with shorts and t-shirt. But no, in any game they need to keep focused. Obviously Urfa hasn't had too much to do today, but she done well there, coming out and picking the ball up from across.
It is another art. Whenever you talk to goalkeepers, well, they say they're another breed, don't they? But it is literally sometimes a really lonely position, and you can have games when you're under a wave of attack and you're constantly on your guard, but then other evenings like this evening where your teammates are enjoying a lot of the ball, might be a little bit disappointed in the goal conceded, but those are the moments as well where you really can have an impact as well. Good goalkeeping there, and important that we shout it out when we see it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But in those sorts of situations, when she hasn't had too much to do, communicating with the back line is always really important from a goalkeeper. So as long as she's keeping focused by communicating and talking to her back line, then that's important as well.
Absolutely, because it was something that the manager said at the weekend, really important to tighten up things defensively. Really disappointed with the manner of the goals conceded, and of course, you know, it's just an absolute foundation, home or away, but particularly at home when you're trying to build a fortress and so on. You don't want teams stealing goals and finding ways into the game. So in this second half, it's been looking pretty good from that perspective.
No, it has, definitely, and I think we need to build on this now. We need to make sure we stick with this, especially going into the weekend and in the league in general as well. I think, like I said before, I think as soon as you build a foundation where you're hard to beat and hard to break down, then you've got half a chance of winning the game. And we've got so many good quality forwards, creative players to create our chances. So yeah, definitely.
3 goals this evening. You look at the bench as well, and some of the talent on there, the likes of Megan Wynne, Ella Rutherford, Beth Rowe, not even featuring this evening, but there's still a lot of opportunities. It shows the strength and depth in the Charlton squad as well. No changes have yet made by Karen Hills. Do you think that might be something that will change in the last sort of 15 minutes or so, freshen things up and bring on some
Yeah,
players?
potentially. I mean, she might make a couple of changes, but she might want to keep them players fresh for the weekend. I mean, them Beth Rowe, Ella Rutherford, Winnie, Megan Wynne, that is. They're really important for us, so to have them fresh for the weekend will be important. Just want to point out how important Ella is for us. I think she's a big hit with the fans at Charlton. She's only 21. She's a really good forward player. She's one of our top goal scorers this season, so it's good to have her back. She's been injured for a bit of time, so yeah, it might be nice to see her tonight, but if not, I'm sure she'll play at the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Loves playing against Coventry, of course. She scored that brace on the opening home game against City. Beth Rowe was on the score sheet that evening as well. But it's important that goals are contributed from across the whole team, and I know in recent weeks goal scoring hasn't been as free-flowing, but there are players across the whole squad that are contributing goals, which again is a really, really good sign. You don't want to be too over-reliant on certain individuals.
No, of course not. And Lois picking up a goal tonight, which is great for her. And I thought Elise was going to get a hat-trick then. But no, Elise picking up a few goals tonight as well. Jess getting on the score sheet at the weekend. It's great to have a lot of people getting on the score sheet and bringing people in from midfield as well who can get a couple of goals. Yeah, as long as you're not relying on one player to score, that's the most important thing as well.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned there, Hughes getting in on goal, but the ball smothered at her feet. She'll be desperate to add to her tally this evening, but there hasn't necessarily been as much service in the last 5 minutes or so. It's become a real battle in the midfield area, and now Coventry come away with the ball over on that right-hand side. It's Toussaint. Shadowed by 2 Charlton shirts. They're getting back and doing their duties, and she's done well to get the throw on.
Yeah, credit to Coventry. They've got themselves back in the game for the last 5 minutes. They're pressing really aggressively in the midfield and winning it there. It possibly might have been a free kick to us, but the ref's not giving it. And yeah, you've just got to be careful. They look really threatening going forward, so just need to tighten up.
Yeah, the substitutions made by the visitors have kind of replenished them, rejuvenated them somewhat. Going toe-to-toe with Charlton this evening, absolutely no mistake about that. And it will really come down as we enter this kind of final 15 minutes about game management, and that is taken quickly there by Ross. Back on the ball now, it's a long ball forwards over to the right-hand side, and the offside flag there. A bit of a frustration for King there, needing to be onside.
Yeah, she'll be really disappointed with that. I think that was a really good ball by Mia Ross. We could have had a 2v1 down that side with Rach going round. So yeah, she'll be a bit disappointed looking across the line and being offside there.
But now it's time for a reset for Charlton. The goal kick is taken long. And I think Nuba got the touch there, so she's going to sprint to try and keep the ball on the field of play, but it rolls off for a throw. It's taken quickly to the skipper, who turns well, looks to get a shot away. Does so, but that's well seen all the way by Cummins there. And as you mentioned earlier on, not too disappointed if that's all that Charlton can limit Coventry to, shots from range, but not too many shots.
No, definitely. Obviously they're better shots from 25-30 yards out than in our own box, but didn't really defend that throw-in very well there. We allowed her to turn too easily and allow her to have the opportunity to shoot. So yeah, we need to be a little bit tighter there.
Because the games often at this level have got such fine margins. It's often a set-piece delivery, a corner, a free kick, or even those throw-ins that sometimes catch teams out of shape, and that's when teams get hurt.
Yeah, like throw-ins are still set pieces at the end of the day, and they can still hurt teams. Like you've seen there, if she had had a better strike on the ball, she might have tested her for a little bit more. So we just need to be a bit careful, not give too many set pieces away, like I said. But yeah, we just need to ride this little bit of pressure from Coventry at the minute.
It is a bit of pressure indeed. The visitors, despite being 3-1 down, have not let their heads drop in the slightest. They're looking to carve out a way back into this game to get some points on the board. Of course, they already have 3 from beating Watford. They're actually top of Group C in the Continental Cup. And their work rate and endeavour really has been impressive throughout, and they are enjoying a good spell now.
Yeah, we just look a little bit sloppy at the minute. We're not pressing as a group. We look a little bit tired. So yeah, I don't know if there's going to be many changes being made over the next 5 minutes. But yeah, we just need to ride this wave a little bit. We keep losing the ball, even when we win it back. So we just need to tighten up. We just need to get someone on the ball that's just going to settle it a little bit. Maybe try and get Lois on the ball a little bit more in midfield. But yeah, we just need to ride this at the minute.
There we go. I think Hughes doing really well, doing exactly that. Passing the ball back to Cummings, and now Charlton are mounting an attack, looking after the ball. We keep seeing Salulo drop deeper and deeper to get some touches onto it. As you can see, this press is still intense, even with 77 minutes on the clock. And Coventry win possession back. So it's going to be a substitution. Can't quite make out the angles or who's coming on, but we'll keep our eyes peeled from our position. And it's Megan Wynn coming on in place of Emma Follis. Now, if you're a Coventry defender, that's the last thing in the world you want to see, but perhaps a like-for-like change, adding a bit of impetus to the Charlton attack, as you mentioned, during a spell where Coventry have enjoyed a good period of pressure.
Yeah, and Winnie's very good out of possession. She's really aggressive in the press. she won't give a player a minute. So yeah, maybe she's been brought on just to give us a little bit more of a defensive structure. But again, on the counter, she's super quick. So she'll be good in possession as well. But maybe Follis coming off just to give her 15 minutes rest for the weekend. She's played well tonight. She played 90 minutes at the weekend, so she might just need a bit of rest time.
That's the first change made by Charlton manager Karen Hills this evening, and when you can bring on a player like Megan Wynne at this stage in a game, it's a good evening's work, that's for sure. And whilst we haven't had any goals in this second period, still from a Charlton perspective, have limited Coventry to very minimal chances, but perhaps looking in this sort of final 10 minutes or so just to carve a few more of their own. It's very hard though when you're 2 goals up. Yeah,
of course, but I think you need to have that mentality of you want to just keep pushing for more goals. I think you don't want to give them too many opportunities, and like for the players that haven't played many minutes, they want to be getting on the score sheet, they want to be getting chances on goal. But no, last 10 minutes we just need to tighten up at the back. Don't give them too many opportunities as well.
Charlton playing out of the back now, and that press is still being sustained by Coventry, and it's worked for them once more. It forces Cummins into a kick that was placed nowhere near where she wanted it to, but again, credit to the opposition.
No, really good pressure, and like I said, playing out from the back, it's when and where, and I think there we probably put ourselves in a little bit of trouble there. So yeah, last 10 minutes, you don't really want to give them too many risky passes going back to the goalkeeper. Might need to be a little bit more smarter and go a little bit longer, try and play in their own half.
Well, as we enter the sort of final 10 minutes, Coventry are going to be one thing only, and that is direct, and this is again a really important moment for the hosts to defend, to keep their shape, and not only defend the initial phase of play but the seconds and the thirds as well. Yeah,
definitely, and I think when we're in our own box, we haven't really cleared it very well tonight, so it's just making sure the clearances are far and they're not coming straight back to Coventry.
Jess King there looking to find Wynne. The ball was bouncing around. I thought, oh, is it going to fall perfectly for the Charlton substitute, but not on this occasion. But she's a real live wire, and she does so well in those situations as well, playing off the back line, off of the shoulder, which is no easy thing to do, but with her pace she can afford to do so.
She is frightening, and that's one of her strengths, is her pace. So being on the back shoulder of the fullback is important. But another substitution for us we've just seen is Beth Rowe come on for Rachel Nuber as well.
Beth Rowe, of course, scored against Coventry the last time these two teams met, the opening game of the season here in the league.
Good, Jess. Find us something, Elise. Well done, you.
Elise doing really well with her back to goal there, keeping and looking after the ball, and then commentators curse. We do it, I'm sorry, it's happened. But initially, good bit of play there from the Charlton goal scorer, but fortunately it's kind of stifled out again, and that's it, isn't it? Just extinguishing any little bit of glimmer of possession and making sure that it's not allowed to count.
Yeah, definitely. Elise doing really well there. She probably needed just a little bit more support from behind. But yeah, another throw in again, just playing down the line from Beth Rowe.
Beth Rowe given clear instructions, I'm sure, about her role and contribution in this final 10 minutes or so at Oakwood. Do join us again on Sunday, a massive game in the Championship. They don't get much bigger than London City Lionesses coming on your patch, and if the result stays like this, it's a real foundation. Training, I'm sure, will be lifted, and then the focus is getting 3 points and climbing up that league table.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot of the things that the girls were working on in training has come out today, which is great, and that's what coaching staff want to see. That's what players take confidence from, knowing what they've been practicing has come out in games, which is brilliant. Yeah, and it puts us in good stead going into Sunday.
And talking of confidence there, we see the shot taken away by Lois Roach, and we spoke about at the start the importance of using this evening to bring back some confidence, and it's a shot off target, okay, but still it's a player that's had a really good evening's work, got on the score sheet, got a glimpse of goal, and is getting a shot away, and that is a good foundation. build off of.
Definitely. I mean, Lois doesn't need any more confidence, I tell you now. But she's a very confident girl, and she doesn't need any chance to have a shot. As soon as she sees the goal, she'll have a pop. So, yeah, she'll be delighted to get on the score sheet tonight, as you could tell by her celebration. But yeah, it's good to see more people having chances as well.
Definitely, it's what we love to hear. Charlton players feeling confident and taking their opportunities as and when they come in. We're seeing already a little glimpse of the pace that Megan Wynne has over on this right-hand side. She looks to feed the pass down the channels. Charlton driving towards that byline, pressing, hustling. You said this is what we could expect from Megan Wynne, and she's delivering.
And that's what Winnie gives you, and I think it shows that it is given off to other players as well. I mean, Winnie pressing, and then you've got Beth Rowe coming in behind, you've got Lois coming in behind. That's what you need. She gives that little bit of energy on the pitch, and it's really important for us if we want a high press.
As we enter this final 5 minutes of this evening's Continental Cup game, it looks like Charlton are on course for their first victory in the competition after that narrow loss away at Spurs. They play again on the 15th of December. A trip to Watford awaits. And this, of course, for those that might not be too sure, this is the League Cup competition, as we see a third substitution of the evening. Mary Bashford is coming on.
She's another one, a really good under-21s player, really exciting coming up through the ranks. I think she's only 17, if I remember rightly. I don't know if she's turned 18 yet, I'm not sure, but she is a very good player for her age, and it's really nice to see her coming on for the last 5 minutes.
Well, these are why first half displays, and we mentioned the opening 15 minutes, are so important, because if you can nail that part of your game strategy, it means that a manager and coaching staff have the opportunity to bleed young players into game scenarios like this. A huge moment for her. It's an opportunity for that player pathway to really come to life, and that is why sometimes we might look at the fixture schedule and see how busy it is, but these are the opportunities that they craft.
Yeah, definitely, and I think cup games are really important for that. I think giving youth players a little bit of experience, a little bit of a taster of what it's like to be in the first team. When she's come up to train with us, she was in with us in pre-season, she comes in throughout the week, she can hold her own, she's strong, she's technically very good, and it's really nice to see her getting a little bit of an opportunity from Karen, and again hopefully giving her a taster of what she wants to be a part of going forward.
Getting a good strong touch onto the ball there, and as you say, all the training and experience and learning off of first team players will be so valuable, but nothing quite beats that match tempo. Even if it is coming on for 5 minutes this evening, she will take a lot away from it.
100%, and I think playing under 21s football and coming up to play senior football is very different. The strength, the physicality, the tactical awareness, the technical ability is a lot better than that level that she's been playing at. But no, she's held her own in training. She definitely warrants being put on this game today.
Well, we can see her hustling in the middle of the pitch. It looked like a really productive run by King there, but just overlaying the pass somewhat. But her teammate Bashford was there trying to get a foot on it, trying to just be a nuisance, which is exactly what you want to be when you're coming on as a substitute. You really want to make a positive first impression, and she certainly is doing so this evening. As when they're trying to win possession back. Ball is kept in play. Coventry City still have it. And then the ball is eventually driven away by Salula, who's fouled there. That will be a free kick for Charlton, and one they'll probably take their time with now.
Really good winning the free kick. Hopefully she's not injured from it, but that's what you want, winning the ball back, getting a free kick, last couple of minutes of the game, slowing the game down, not giving Coventry anything, and yeah, she'll definitely take her time getting herself back up.
Take the rest, she's earned it. She's covered a lot of blades of grass this evening, that's for sure. The Charlton number 11 hobbling off. It doesn't look like anything too serious. which is good because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of players at the moment, unfortunately, not involved, some coming back, and when the squad is at full strength, it's going to be quite a frightening prospect.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been quite frustrating because obviously, me included, we haven't had a full strength squad to be able to pick from, and hopefully that will happen at some point. Obviously, it's part and parcel of football. You're going to have injuries, you're going to have little niggles, illnesses. So yeah, that's why you have a big squad at the end of the day. If people do have injuries, and you have people on the bench that can come in and do a job like they have today.
Absolutely. I think that's perhaps one of the most pleasing things for the manager is the use of the squad this evening, the response, the scoreline. Most of the business has been done in the first half, but there's no complaints about that either, because you'd rather that than be chasing a game as we enter the final phases of the match. I think it's been a good night's work. What's your overall assessment of it?
Yeah, no, I think obviously we won this game in the first half. We were clinical, we were dominant. Made a couple of little errors that obviously led to the goal. But overall, I think Karen will be really happy with this performance. Really happy with the girls that have come in, done a job. Definitely gives her a headache for the weekend who she's going to pick as for the starting 11. But no, again, getting the 3 points, that was the main thing tonight. That puts us in still a bit of a good opportunity to go through in this Conti Cup. Obviously, it still is a little bit difficult. Obviously, we lost to Spurs in the first game, but again, 3 points, confidence, got our 9s scoring, we've got different goal scorers. I think we're really happy.
Really, really happy as Charlton look to try and maybe add one more to the tally, and I must say that little bit of work there by Elise Hughes, chasing the ball, grafting, even at this late stage in the game. It's a really insightful glimpse into her mentality, leading that line for Charlton, even into this dying phase. She's dropping deep, winning the ball back.
Yeah, and that's what we need from our 9. The press starts from her, and we all go off her. So look, she's had a really good night. She's got 2 goals. She's grafted. She worked hard off the ball. So yeah, she should be happy with her night's work.
Some really good, consistent performances over the 90. Really, that's been really impressive for Charlton. They've done the business required, and done so in a really professional manner, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think people forget how young this group of players are. Mia Ross, who's played most of our games, she's only 18 years old. She's been really good in the centre of the park. She's still learning. This is her first real senior amount of football over the course of her career so far. I mean, we've got a really young team. Beth Rowe, 21.
Well, there's me saying Anna Philbio's experience, and you remind me she's only 21, 22.
No, exactly.
But that's an exciting prospect as well, because the squad is young, it's dynamic, but it's got a real blend of experience as well, and that's a really exciting mixture.
Definitely, and I think you need that mixture. But when you're starting a fresh new team, there's a lot of youngsters, a lot of people that are a little bit inexperienced, but they're learning as we go along, and us experienced players, hopefully when I get back on the pitch as well. We've got Lois, we've got Follis, Jess, Winnie. We've got a lot of experienced players as well, so it's a good mix, but the youngsters are learning as they go along, but the experienced players are dragging them through as well, which is good.
Really good. An accomplished 90 minutes is how I would describe this. A Continental Cup, an opportunity to bounce back from a disappointing defeat and springboard onto Sunday's game as well. And we do hope that you will support the girls. Hopefully you can come and join us at the Oakwood on Sunday. Come and support the girls, come and watch live in action, because it's fantastic, and there's such a lovely family feel, particularly on those Sunday games where, you know, families come, youngsters come along as well, and the players always really interact and engage with them, which I think is really lovely and quite special about women's football.
Yeah, I think it's really important. We really like getting to know the fans after the game, and like you said, it is a family feel. There's a lot of youngsters that come to watch, which again is really important for women's football, just to have young girls and boys as well coming to watch our game. But yeah, we'd love to get as many fans as possible to the game at the weekend, just for the girls to be supported, and your support means a lot to us. So yeah, hopefully we can get a lot of fans at the weekend, and hopefully we get that win as well.
I mean, I think it's going to be one of the best games of the season. London City, only down the road, the noisy neighbours. So do make sure that you pick up your tickets, visit the Charlton Athletic website, head to our social media channels as well. But let's reflect on a fantastic 90 minutes. It finishes here, Charlton 3, Coventry City 1. As you said, Lauren, business done in the first half, but an accomplished, professional, all-round display from the whole Charlton team tonight.
Yeah, good, clinical in front of goal, created quite a lot of chances. Got a lot of people on the from the bench from the weekend playing tonight. A couple of players rested for the weekend. Confidence high. We've got a 9 scoring, which is brilliant. Overall, I think we've got to be really happy with that going into the weekend.
Absolutely. Karen Hill said on Sunday we need to look at ourselves and make sure we come back fighting, which I know we will, and her side has certainly done that tonight. Business done in the first half. After 12 minutes, Lois Roach put Charlton ahead. The visitors responded well. They were given a chance. They took it clinically, courtesy of Olivia Ferguson, and we'll be able to take a little look back at all of the goals, all 4 of them coming in the opening 45 minutes. And Charlton's opener, a lovely little through ball into the path of Lois Roach, who made no mistake with the finish. Her movement, the change of shoulder, right-footed, slotting the ball beyond the goalkeeper. And as I said, Coventry did respond. They were given a chance. The ball in the heart of the midfield was launched over to the right-hand side. It was a smart chip from a tight angle, which brought Coventry level, and heads could have perhaps dropped there from a Charlton perspective, but they fought their way back into the game. And with 25 minutes on the clock, again King involved in the action. The ball fell to Elise Hughes with her back to goal. She turned sublimely and finished with aplomb as well into the bottom right hand corner. She doubled her tally and scored Charlton's 3rd on 39 minutes as well. But credit for the assist to Follis, a lovely ball. She knew exactly where her teammate was going to be at the back stick, put it on a plate, and it was gobbled up by Hughes. And that proved to be really the deciding moment. It made it 3-1 at half-time. Not too many chances to report in the second half, Lauren, but onwards to Sunday.
Yes, onwards to Sunday. Brilliant result tonight. Really happy with the performances of all the girls. Karen will be buzzing. Yeah, bring on Sunday.
Bring on Sunday. Thank you so much, Lauren. It's been a pleasure to have your company. I'm so pleased to hear the rehab is going well. Can't wait to see you back out on the pitch. But thank you as well to you for tuning in on Charlton TV. It's been great to have you with us as it finishes here at the Oakwood Stadium. Charlton 3, Coventry City 1.